Okay, you will recall that we took a look at generating a scatter plot as a way of investigating the relationship between two numerical variables. And in this data set, we had data from a moving company, and we had hours and feet, and we had generated a scatter plot looking at the relationship between feet and hours, those two variables. And if you recall, we said that you could, once you click on the chart to activate it, you can go into the Chart Tools ribbon, and you could add a trend line, a linear trend line. And as you can see, the data points are tightly clustered around this line that has a positive slope. So the tight clustering indicates a strong relationship, and the positive slope indicates a positive direction of the relationship. So longer hours corresponds to higher, larger numbers of feet, and vice versa. So the two variables move together. What I would like to do in this video is to illustrate how we can generate in Excel the numerical summary measure, this descriptive measure that captures a precise objective measure of this amount of correlation, and also gives us the direction of the relationship as well. And of course, what we'll calculate is the correlation coefficient. And the way we'll do that is actually to take our two variables, hours and feet, and actually use the data analysis tool pack once again, and generate a correlation coefficient value. As you'll see, it'll emerge in a table, which would be useful if we had many more variables. As a matter of fact, what I think I will do, as I mentioned that, is just go ahead and look at the relationships between all three of these variables, hours, feet, and this last variable, large, and look at all the relationships among all three of these variables. We can generate them all at once, and we'll then pinpoint specifically the relationship between hours and feet that we have visually represented in this scatter plot. So I'll go to the Data Analysis Tool Pack in our Data ribbon in Excel at the extreme right hand. And one of our items that we can select there is Correlation. And if we do that, we're asked to generate an input range. And in this case, I'm going to select all three of my variables. So I'll select hours, feet, large, and select all the way down. And I'll go ahead and use my Shift Control down arrow to select all of these. By the way, these areas where you see the little pound sign showing up, all it means is that we don't have enough space to show the entire number. So don't be alarmed if you see that emerge in your data set all of a sudden. You can just expand the column size so you can see all of the digits. Presumably these are 4-digit numbers here, so they don't fit at this font size. And because I'm actively involved in something else, I can't actually get the right icon I need to expand the window. Anyway, I'll go ahead and accept this range of cells here. It asks me if the data is grouped by columns, which it is. My variables are in columns, and I do have labels in the first row. And since I started at row 1, cell A1, I know that I've included the labels. Okay, it asks me where I want to generate the output, and I'm going to go ahead and generate it in a new worksheet. So I have that button selected, and I hit OK. And Excel thinks for a little while, and then it generates this table. And this table shows all of the relationships among these three variables. So what we're getting is this correlation coefficient. So the correlation between hours and hours, of course, is an exact 1.0. You'll remember that correlation coefficient has to have a value between -1 and +1. So each variable, when correlated with itself, has a perfect correlation of 1. But when we look at the other combinations, hours versus feet, we see a positive correlation because the number is positive, and a value of 0.943, indicating a very strong positive correlation. Large and hours, by the way, we didn't generate a scatter plot for that, but that also has a very high positive correlation. And same for feet and large. Correlation coefficient, again positive, and a value of 0.8537. So once again, a large, strong correlation, and positive as well. Okay, so that's how we can get a numeric summary measure of the correlation, of the relationship, strength and direction, between two numeric variables.